Hello and welcome to Go Race Promotions here on Twitch. We are live once again, bringing you another round of the AK Racing V8 Supercars. How are we all going at home? I hope you're finding your Sunday afternoon nice and relaxing. I certainly am. We're obviously getting ready to take part in some pixel racing. Can't go wrong with that. Of course, Winton Motor Raceway, little tiny track that's, well, not little tiny, but it is a track right on the Victorian border and has produced a lot of good racing, a lot of terrible racing as well. We've seen some pretty average driving, and we've seen some awesome driving as well around the circuit in real life. So, yeah, hopefully we get to see some more awesome racing tonight. We're currently watching Peter Reid down below us. Compound textures not works. Since I don't think I actually downloaded them. Couldn't find them for some reason. I don't know, maybe I'm an idiot. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I can tell who is on the Super Softs and who is not on the Super Softs. As you can tell on the tower, we have this little SS, and S. Pretty well everyone on the Super Softs in the last 3 minutes of qualifying. Sorry, not qualifying, practice. It's been a long weekend. I did nothing, and I'm still absolutely out of it. Probably just a hangover from the crazy week of work that I've had. Anyway, who is on top at the moment is Daniel Cicluna in the Haltech Kangaroo Valley Mustang. Great to see him on top by the thinnest of margins over Albertsma. That is very, very tight at the top. J-Boss, hello mate, how you going? You keen for some pixel racing tonight? I certainly am. Looks like we're in for a cracker of a race. As we can see, let's have a look at some times. So, pretty well top, actually, find some gaps. Where are my gaps? There we go. Let's make it a little bit easier. So the top 8 separated by less than a second. Hopefully we get to see that come down a little bit further in qualifying, and we get a really good night of racing. It's looking really tight at the top though between our Albertsma and Cicluna. Expect Delaney and Chris Munro to get up there as well. In fact, let's start a... No, that's the wrong one. Let's start a new prediction. The whole time. Let's see. We'll go a sub 122. 122.01 plus. Okay, give you 5 minutes to think about that. Have a go at our prediction function there. You get some channel points. You can redeem it for following your favourite driver, whatever you want. I was surprised to see Matt Cotter down in 5th place. Very interesting. So yeah, get some channel points happening, get some predictions happening. You've got 5 minutes to think about it. Hopefully that gives you plenty of time. Oh, here we go. So Taylor switching to the ZB Commodore. Oh, let's find him. Oh, there he is. He is in a. Oh, that looks nice. That is. Oh, nice. Nice. That is a very nice livery. Has he got something on the dash? Please have something on the dash. He has something on the dash. Not quite funny. It's good enough. It's good enough. I see the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo there, I think. Dynaco. A little Cars reference. That's good. Welcome to Winton, a track where flow is non-existent, where you can understeer while counter-steering, and where insanity is at an all-time high. That's just, that sounds like just you in a nutshell, Tyler. I'll be honest. Speaking of awesome liveries. Oh, well, we can't really see it, but this is outstanding, this livery. Hunt Assist Racing, Fake Stone, Nazcrap. Paranoid, man, he has got all the best sponsors on there. That is outstanding. We saw that a little bit earlier in the intro. There's Chris Munro and Delaney getting up there. Oh no, we've had drivers leave the circuit. Never mind. Let's jump back into the pit lane and we'll run through the final positions of practice. So Sakluna at our advertisement note. Check that. Chris Munro goes into second, 22.363. Very tight at the top. Delaney in fourth. Ferguson fifth. Good to see the Nissans up there. Oh, at least one of them. Oh, no, sorry. Two of them up there. Chris Munro. How could I forget Chris Munro? Average stuff from me. Matt Cotter in sixth place. Tyler Craig seventh. Peter Reid in eighth. Matty Richards in ninth. Zach O'Reilly into 10th place. Not a bad effort from him. Hopefully he, I don't know, that's Scowen I'm thinking of, but good to see O'Reilly in there and having a good run of it. Eaton in 11th, Betts 12th, Marshall 13th, Callison 14th, McFarlane 15th. Definitely out of position there from McFarlane. I think expect him to move forward. Grant in 16th. Speaking of drivers out of position, Susanna in 17th, Simmons 18th, Taylor 19th, and that is it. So we've got 19 drivers tonight, which is pretty darn cool. Oh, hello. We've got an ad here for the GT Club IndyCar Championship. Make sure you check out those guys if you can. That is not what I wanted up there. But anyway, we are getting set for a start to qualifying. Let's see if... we have got a server up. Keeping an eye on the poll as well. Well, actually, the poll is over about the Miami street circuit. A lot of you just thinking it's okay. One of you think it's good. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a bit of a procession tonight. Just getting that initial vibes about the circuit. Aussie Motorsport League. Hey, how you going, mate? I'm pretty good. Sunday night. Got some V8 Supercar action from AK Racing. Can't go wrong with it. Cannot go wrong with it. And we're just waiting for the qualifying server to go up. So, yeah, shoot in some questions, I guess. Just predictions for tonight. Who's your favourite to take out the win tonight? Take out the old W. Who do you expect to go well? Who do you expect to not go well? Yeah, Winton Motor Raceway, as Tyler has been, I guess, explaining in chat, it is not the easiest track to set up for. It's fairly, well, it's sort of half and half this circuit. Fairly high speed, long sustained cornering, and then it's a pain in the backside, slow half of the circuit where everything's tight and twisty, and it just makes it very, very hard to set the car up to exactly how you want it. Got one prediction in. Matt Munro will win. That's going to be quite an achievement because I did not see him in the server. No, you might join. You might join for qualifying. Never know. If he is racing, yeah, that's true. That is true. Still waiting for the qualifying server to go up. We have at least got a Matty Richards fan, Angie Pangie. Definitely know who you're cheering for. Matty Richards, I think he could take out the W tonight. At least get one win. We have 2 races for you tonight. Let's just run through the schedule for tonight's action. Let's see, Winton Raceway. So we got a 42-lap race number 1 and a 42-lap race number 2 with the top 10 reverse grid. That usually sees a little bit of, how do I describe it? Absolute sheer chaos. So, yeah, make sure you following. Make sure you got yourself a nice nice brew sitting right next to you. I don't have any any drink with me. We've done the whole drinking on stream thing. It didn't go well. We're not doing that again. But yeah. Actually, how do you like my new chair? Nice Secret Labs chair. Bought this off my brother actually. Very comfortable. I tell you what, I am commentating in just sheer luxury right now. Need alcohol after this race. Go grab a nice coffee. Yeah, I should grab a coffee. No, Tyler, I think you're gonna need alcohol after this one, not me. I don't need alcohol. Oh, I guess I'll throw that to you guys. How has your weekend been? Let me know what you've been up to. Let me know if you've done something super exciting, and if you're looking forward to Monday tomorrow. Trick question. No one's looking forward to Monday tomorrow. Here we go. We have got a server up. Let's jump in. And we will give you a full view of the action. So we are going live to trackside for the start of qualifying. Hopefully we haven't missed too much. And as you can hear, the bird is getting excited. Everyone should be excited at this point. All right, let's see who is at the front. I'm going to take a punt. Yep, Chris Munro at the very front of the queue, ready to get out there. O'Reilly there in the punt assist Commodore. Love to see it. We've also got Ferguson in one of the Terratech Nissans lined up just behind Munro. So we are getting set for a start. We've got about 30 seconds to the start of qualifying. 12-minute qualifying tonight. And then we go into race number 1. Oh yeah, good point, Aussie. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. I hope you had a fairly chilled Mother's Day. Here we go, and we are away. So Chris Munro will lead the field out to start their qualifying. And he will have O'Reilly just behind. Whoa, we got cars sliding everywhere. That is... tell you what, Zach O'Reilly's car is not sounding great. This is an odd sounding VF Commodore. I think it's a new updated version of the VF Commodore that AK Racing have produced, so they've got a different sound package, I suppose, in there. Interesting to see how the VF Commodore goes tonight. I don't know what exactly they've done. I'm sure Taylor Simmons will give us a bit of an update of what's been changed. But certainly the engine note has been changed. Either way, we've got Chris Munro, who will lead the field around to start qualifying, get those first crucial flying laps in. So I'm sort of expecting that the strategy will be just to get in a banker, get some fresh tyres in the car, and go again. As Munro gets a little bit of a wheel spin coming onto the main straight. Now we'll see what they're able to do tonight in qualifying. Can we get a sub at 122? Find out the fun way. Munro backs down into third gear for this back section, and we start getting into this tricky, tight and twisty area where the cars that rotate well on the fast stuff, they're going to struggle. This turn here, this long left-hander, double apex, very easy to lock a front brake and go straight off into the boonies. But Munro's done pretty well to get it around there. And now into the hairpins. And This left-hander very tough to get right, I find. Really got to sort of aim for a late apex. Track sacrifice a little bit into the right-hander. Get the car rotated. Get the power down up to third, fourth. Maybe grab fifth or bounce it off the limit. No, he's grabbing fifth. I think in real life they grab the limiter. They just eat the limiter for days. Now we're on to the final back straight for the final two corners. Up to fifth gear again. Into second gear. Again, easy like a break over the bumps. Tips it through the final corner. The track sort of moves away from you just on the apex. But this is looking like a strong lap for Chris Munro. It's a 23.436. Probably not an ideal lap for him. O'Reilly 24.1, Ferguson 24.8. So for now, the 23.4 will stand for Chris Munro as Tyler Craig up into third place with a 24.7. He gets displaced though by Peter Reid with a 24.5. Susanna up into eighth with a 25.9, just in front of Taylor Simmons at a 26.3. Denzel Taylor, I think that is, in ninth, just gets bumped down by Eaton and Marshall. And now Cicluna up into second, 24.047. Just 0.6 off of Munro's time. We know that Cicluna can go a lot faster. Matt Cotter with a 23.5, but Chris Munro, he's up in the first sector by more than 0.6. This is going to be a flying lap for Chris Munro as we see that predicted time, a 22.7, down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Ferguson's also gone purple in the first sector by only a 10th. Not seeing anyone else improving. Taylor's actually improving, but he's still half a second off of Chris Munro. Susanna also improving, McFarland also improving, and Marshall improving as well. Eaton going purple, Cicluna going purple. Look at this, Munro, he's up by 0.7. He'll stop the clock. We're looking at a 22.6. Is that what we're going to get? A 22.669 for Chris Munro. That is the new benchmark for the rest of the drivers in the server. We will check in on our Bertsma. Our Bertsma goes up into second with a 23.3. So it's taking a while for everyone to actually get up to speed. We'll check in on Daniel Cicluna. He hasn't got a predicted time available, but he's only a whisker off of Munro's time as he will cross the line 22.780 purple in the final sector. That leaves him just over a 1/10 of a second behind Chris Munro, and that is not going to be an improvement. Cicluna only just keeping out of the tyre barrier there. That first chicane is a bit of a problem, I would say, for a few drivers. Callison improves up into 7th. So, I want to say Luke Callison? Someone correct me, I'm sure. 23.878, but we've got our Bertsma and Munro going purple in the first sector. We'll check in on our Bertsma. He's up by a 10th, so we're staring down the barrel of a 22.5. See if our Bertsma can hold it together. He comes up towards the final two corners and tips it in. Oh, he's lost a lot of time in the middle sector. And Chris Munro goes to 22.5. Delaney's gone purple as well in the first sector, only by a whisker to Chris Munro. Seeing improvements from everyone up and down the timing tree. See Betts just sidestepping Delaney in the Pertec Falcon. Peter Reid, I'm surprised with Peter Reid. He's down in 8th place. He's having a bit of a struggle tonight. Susanna out of position, down in 15th, gets displaced by Marshall and Grant. So the battle in the mid-pack is definitely on. Matty Richards up into 8th. Good lap time for Matt Richards. Delaney now up into 2nd place. 22.745, just a little bit off of Chris Munro's time. And Chris Munro actually has dived back in pit lane to get some new tyres. As we continue on watching Delaney. We might actually swap over to Peter Reid and go on board with him. He's chasing Tyler Craig. Looks like he's actually backed off. In fact, yeah, looking at the delta, yeah, 0.8 down, he has definitely backed off. So maybe just feeling like Craig is just sort of getting in the way a little bit and he's just gonna button off. We're getting into the last 5 minutes of this session. This is where we should see everyone turn it up. And hopefully we get a 21. As there we go, Delaney, he is up by more than a 10th in that first sector in the Pertec Falcon. That Callison going purple in the first sector as well. Oh, that was Matt Cotter off the track. Just in the background. It looked like he got a little bit of a snap on the exit of that final hairpin. But Delaney, he is looking like he's on for a good lap here. Loses a little bit of time, so whatever Chris Munro is doing in that middle sector, it is working for him. Oh, look at the drive that Delaney gets onto the main straight. It's not going to be an improvement. He's lost a lot of time on the Delta. So a 22.766, not good enough to improve, and he's going to abandon that lap. He'll go in for some fresh tyres and head out once again. Checking with Daniel Cicluna. There's another driver who has been flying at the moment. That is Matt Cotter, actually taking the scenic route at turn 1 and 2. So I'd say he's out on an out lap. Cicluna is on a flyer, if I'm not mistaken. He's just behind Callison, ahead in the purple and black Mustang. Tell you what, my bird is getting right into it. Oh, Cicluna backing out of it. I thought Cicluna was on a hot lap, but I don't think he is. Let's check in on my favourite dark horse, Anthony Cesana, in the Monster Mustang. As he tips it through the final corner. See what he can get down to. Gets down to a 24.539 that keeps him in 16th. Not much of an improvement for him. Betts is also on for an improvement. He's looking at a 23.4. This will get him into the top 10, so Betts into 9th place. How long can he stay there, though? In the very oddly sponsored ZV Commodore. He's got BP, he's got Mobil. Man, the guy's loaded. He's got 2 oil companies and a bank sponsoring him. Taylor Simmons down at the bottom of the tree. He is on for an improvement as well. He's up by just under 4/10 of a second on his own personal best. He's chasing down Anthony Cesana. It's right on board with him. See if he can keep this momentum up heading into the final 2 corners. Gets a little bit of a slide, a little bit of compression like perhaps. Of course, these cars don't have auto blip. This is going to be a massive improvement for Taylor Simmons. Where does he end up? Does he get into the top 10? He moves up to 16th. So it is fairly tight in that midfield. Grant also improves up into 17th. No one really going faster at this stage. Seeing much improvement from anyone, not even Chris Monroe came in for some new tyres and maybe a few little setup adjustments. Keep watching Taylor Simmons for now. He's just behind Anthony Cesana. Cesana looking like he's going to improve. Taylor Simmons also looking like he's going to improve. These two might get into the 23s at this point. Tyler Craig also on for an improvement too, although he's the Delta is down, so he must have made a mistake on that 3rd last corner. Swap back to Anthony Cesana. He is on for a 4/10 improvement. Not much of an improvement in the middle sector, but the Delta is saying that he is up by almost half a second. He may get into the 23s with this lap, and he does indeed, a 23.976. That puts him into the top 15. Whoa, that was a little bit wild as we saw Taylor Simmons. Oh, he is on for a little ride. Can he pull it up before the edge of the circuit? That was fairly risky. Matt Cotter on for an improvement. We're seeing Cicluna and Albertsma there, just a whisker off of Munro's time. In fact, as they have just traded positions very quickly. And that is the end of qualifying. So Munro, Cicluna and Albertsma, that is your provisional top 3. Just waiting on Delaney to cross the line. He is not on for an improvement, so he stays in 4th place. Matty Richards is on for an improvement now. Gets good drive out of the final corner, onto this little short chute. He's on for an improvement. He's on for a 23.4, not anymore. Made that little mistake, just got a little bit of wheel spin, and that was enough to cost him about half a second. See if he can get through the final 2 corners nicely. He's going to try and get into the top 10. He'll want this lap to be nice and tidy at the end. It's not going to be much of an improvement for Matty Richards, and he goes 12th. Zach O'Reilly, the last car to cross the line. He's on for an improvement. May get him into the top 10, we'll see. Bumps Eaton down into 12th place, so Zach O'Reilly does improve and does make up a position, but that is the end of qualifying. So let's wrap up qualifying. Chris Munro, your pole sitter with a 22.522, so let's hand out some channel points. It was not a sub 122 as I was sort of hoping it'd be. So let's get a new one started. Clean turn 1. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. Why not? So let's have a look at our starting order for race number 1. So Chris Munro and James Cicluna, that is your front row. Row 2 will be Albertsma and Delaney. Row 3 will be Callison and Cotter. Reed and Ferguson will be off of row 4. Row 5 will see Betts and McFarlane. Great performance from those two, especially McFarlane. Well, actually, both of them really. Both into the top 10. That was a great effort from them. And top 10 covered by a second decent performance from the whole field. In fact, we can extend that to the top 11 as Zach O'Reilly just snuck into that 1 second. Then we have Eaton out of 12th. Richards and Susanna, keep an eye on those two. They should move forward, as will Tyler Craig out of 15th. Taylor Simmons in 16th. Marshall 17th. Grant in 18th. And Taylor will bring up the rear of the field. That is that for qualifying. Not really any surprises, I have to say. It is Chris Munro and Dennis Cicluna. Cicluna really on the form of his life at the moment. He is just going from strength to strength at each round. So we'll see if he can convert that front row start to the whole shot and hopefully a race win. Probably a little bit surprised with Peter Reed and maybe Tyler Craig as well. Do better, Tyler. Just do better. Apathetic Castle, thank you for the follow. Takes us up to 407 followers. Let's get to 500. Can we get to 500 this year? Come on. Let's go. 500. Come on. Let's go. Love to hit 500 followers here on Twitch. Do better, okay? Tyler, wrong attitude. That I'm giving that a bin. Giving that a bin. That is a bin for Tyler Craig. Aneurysm as it is, that I'm giving you a double bin. Wrong attitude, Tyler. Wrong attitude. I love bullying Tyler. It's good. And the best thing is he can't come back at me because he's not in the commentary box. It's great. I love this. And by the time we get to Tuesday with Shakedown Sim Racing, he's going to forget about it. Pathetic Carousel Power trying to convince me to drive in the league. Mate, you should definitely drive in the league. Tell you what else you should drive in. You should have a go at the Go Race Promotions Super GT League. We're trying to get that started. The Telltale Games of Go Race Promotions Twitch. Tyler will remember this. Yeah, actually, speaking of some Discord, let's get some Discord links happening for AK Racing. Bear with me. AK Racing, Discord, there we go. There is the AK Racing Discord. And we will put in a link to our own Discord for our Super GT League, because that is going to be, that's going to be awesome once that kicks off. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so the race server is up apparently. Thank you, Long Pal. Hopefully I haven't missed the start. Main concern is doxing yourself. Shouldn't dox yourself. Don't do that. That's a bad time. Ah. Yep, that's fair. That is fair. Let's swap over to our full track view. There we go. Our lovely pace car. It's damn good, doesn't it? Safety car. We got all our race directors here as well, and our stewards putting in their time and effort into making sure everyone plays by the rules. So that is a nice looking grid. Albertsma and Delaney, I think they might pull through for the podium. Either one of them. But our reigning champion Peter Reid way down in what is that? 8th, 7th, 7th. Expecting to see him move up through the field rather quickly, along with Ferguson as well. It's actually going to be very difficult to pick a winner, really. But, then we got Taylor down the back. Taylor, we've seen him before, and he usually performs really well. So we'll see how far he can get up there. We'll get a Taylor watch. I just want to have a good look at the new livery of the night. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. This is just amazing. Oh, he's got Megadeth on the inside there. Yeah. Not bad taste there, Mr. O'Reilly. Yeah, this is. I'm liking this. I am liking this. Liking all the, that is excellent. Anyway, all right, we are set for a start as the clock begins to count down. We have 6 lights on, 6 lights out. We are away and racing. It looks like a fairly even start from the front row, but it's actually incredibly even from our front row as Cyclone looks to try and squeeze around the outside. Can we get a clean start? We're going 3 wide further down the field. Tyler Craig and I think that's Maffey. No, Susanna has been turned around. That was by the Penrite car, so guess what? That is not a clean start to race number 1, but it is Chris Munro who gets the whole shot. It was not a clean turn 1. Give points? Yeah, I'll give you points. At Chris Munro with the early hole shot. He's got Daniel Cicluna all over the back of him. Albertsma as well right in there. See, Albertsma just sticking the nose in, trying to sneak around the outside. He's on the wrong side of the circuit. Oh, we've got another car around. Oh, that's Matty Richards. He's playing with the Sandcastles. He'll get back on track and racing again. In fact, he goes all the way down to the bottom of the field. Oh, Cycluna has been absolutely freight trained by Albertsma and Delaney. So this is not going to plan for Cycluna. And now he's got Matt Cotter on the back of him. Interesting to see. Oh, Cycluna! Very sideways out of the third last corner, and that just hands the position to Matt Cotter. And now up the inside. This is a big dive bomb. That is not good. Cycluna shafts Cotter out of the way a little bit. It looks like he's going to readdress that. Oh, this is not looking good. Yeah, he's trying to get out of the way and readdress that. Oh, we got more bumping and shoving up ahead of these guys. Ferguson on Callison. So we've got some chaos happening here. As up the inside of Ferguson goes O'Reilly. O'Reilly can't quite get the move done. And Cotter trying to squeeze around the outside. This is not going to end well for Cotter. But Cotter has actually made that work somehow. Oh, we got a car around in the background. That is Eaton. We've got cars everywhere. And Eaton will drop to the back of the field just behind Taylor Simmons. Jeez, it's all kicking off here. Everything is happening. Interesting to see that only Zach O'Reilly has gone with the super soft tyres. And it's not really working out. Oh, sorry, O'Reilly and Tyler Craig. So Craig has made up a few positions. Yes, there would be some rage driving going on, Dusties. There'd be some raging going on in the Discord, that's for sure. Oh, McFarland, he's made up a few positions. He slides in front of O'Reilly. O'Reilly trying to get the move back on McFarland, but not really working out. So McFarland having a fairly cruisy start to this race. Chris Monroe fast lap in the race at 24.325. Decent effort from him. Mustang is not looking very happy over the curbs. McFarland under all sorts of pressure from O'Reilly. Spirited driving, yes. Enthusiastic driving. Oh, O'Reilly almost just sticking what are we going to call? Well, the punt assist Commodore. Let's just put it that way. The battling up ahead. Cycluna, sort of the cork in the bottle at the moment. Oh, McFarland has been turned around, I think. Actually, I didn't quite see that completely. I was too busy focusing on the tower. I don't know if he got some assistance there. Maybe he just got a little bit too eager on the throttle. Who knows? I'm sure the stewards will look after that if there was any ill-gotten gains from a driver. I think we better start a new prediction. Let's see. Where will... Yeah. Just working on a new prediction for you wonderful people out there. So, I've got a very creative one for you because I'm giving you multiple prediction options here. And I'm giving you 5 minutes as well. Where is Callison? This man right here, where is he going to finish? In the Team Iris Mustang. Is he going to get the top 5? Is he going to finish down between 6th and 10th? Is he going to be in the top 15? Or is he going to be at the back end of the field? Oh, we've got a car around. That's Monroe. That's our leader. Chris Monroe has spun. And he has lost the lead to James Delaney. So Delaney now, the number 17 Pertec Falcon, he has taken the race lead and he has gapped the battle of Munro and Albertima. I don't know exactly what happened. I just saw our race leader just facing the wrong way. I don't really want to speculate on what exactly happened. Very easy to spin these cars on the throttle and even on the downshifts. Of course, no auto blip. You have to do that yourself. Very easy to compression lock. Funnily enough, when you have a car that doesn't have a lot of tyre, has a lot of weight, and doesn't have a lot of aero, it's very hard to control. Oh, did I mention a lot of power too? Jeez, Munro is under a lot of pressure here from Albertsma. In fact, he runs wide. Albertsma just trying to sneak around the outside. He'll try and get the drive out of this hairpin down this short chute. Looks like he has gotten a fairly good run. Not as good as run as the Nissan. I think any car is a handful at Bathurst, apathetic. Well, we got a decent battle brewing here. Betts and Tyler Craig. So Craig has made a good fight through the field after starting out of the top 15. Now we got Matt Cotter, who's had a bit of an experience, shall we say, and he continues to have an experience. Down in 11th, tried to sneak around the outside of Betts and Craig. And these two are still side by side. Craig just moving around under brakes, just trying to get into the mirrors of Betts. And Betts just runs a little bit deep. He's going to be vulnerable now. Oh, here comes Craig up the inside, very tight. This is such a tough track to make a pass around. Turn 1 is a possible passing opportunity. We're coming up to another passing opportunity if Craig can just get over the curb and send it up the inside right here. Not close enough this time by. May try and get it around the outside to try and get that inside line for the next corner. Again, very difficult to make a pass. Now Betts a little bit wide of the apex. Right on board now with Tyler Craig. Seems to have a lot more mid-corner grip than what Betts' 41 Commodore does. Let's see if Craig can make use of it. Just a lot more confidence in the mid-corner, but he just can't get the power down, it seems. He's also coming under pressure from Matt Cotter behind in the Torpedo Motorsports Commodore. Again, Betts struggling to get the car pointed in for the first corner, but his saving grace is that Craig just can't get the power down. These guys are losing time to Peter Reid, just up ahead. Again, Betts wide of the apex. And there is a little bit of understeer in the Commodore ahead. And it is hurting him on corner entry, but it seems to help him on the exit though. These guys are just settling into a rhythm. Oh no, Betts makes a mistake, and Tyler Craig will take full advantage of that. And Cotter will try and make a move around the outside. He should have the inside line for the next corner, and Matt Cotter will follow Tyler Craig through on Betts. So Betts, in the space of 3 corners, loses 2 positions. And we'll see if Tyler Craig can make anything out of this clear track ahead of him. He's got Matt Cotter all over the back of him, but Craig on the super soft tyres. That will be working in his favour, but I don't know how long the super softs work on this circuit for. This race looks like as if it's going to just settle down. Zach O'Reilly fastest lap of the race. So we've got a decent battle. Oh, who was that? Tyler Craig. Oh, Tyler Craig has lost it. Thought I saw someone binning it. Oh no, this is going to be very awkward, and Matt Richards collects him. Oh no, there's more carnage out in front. I'd say that is broken steering for Matt Richards. Unfortunately, that has caught up Eaton in all of that. And Tyler Craig is a DNF. Grant in pit lane. There is some sadness going on there. And we're going to ride on board with Matty Rich. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the steering damage on this car. Oh, again, Matty Richards just... he's got some pain happening for him. Chris Munro is still holding our Bertsma. Still nose to tail. Oh, our Bertsma sneaking up the inside. Found a Commodore-sized gap there, and oh, Munro and our Bertsma, oh wow, they're getting stuck into it. That was interesting. So our Bertsma has managed to get the move done on Munro. There was a lot of hip and shoulder going on there. Something is not quite right with this Nissan. He has gone backwards fairly quickly. The gap between these guys and Delaney has stretched out to over 6 seconds. Also got O'Reilly sneaking around the outside of Ferguson, so O'Reilly, the fastest drivers on track, and the VF Commodore, so the older model Commodore. This car is working well for him. Just behind Ferguson is Peter Reid. Reid hasn't really made much progress. In fact, I think he's actually gone backwards in this race, but we still have to go through some pit stops. Would be expecting these guys to be jumping into pit lane around lap 21. Maybe a few guys stretching it out to lap 30. Right on board with Peter Reid now. Got a good run on Ferguson down the main straight. Nothing he can really do. He's squeezed onto the white line. There was only just enough room for a Dungeon Developments Mustang to fit around the outside of the Nissan. So, this Nissan, it looks like it's struggling with its front tyres at the moment. Cannot get the Nissan to point in by the looks of things. While O'Reilly, he's making those super softs last quite well. Also got a little battle just starting to brew for the top. Well, for fourth place we've got Cicluna. He's on the back of Callison. Now Reid has actually made the move stick on Ferguson into the final corner. Again, I'd say those understeer issues have hurt Ferguson a little bit as we tick over 12 laps. Reid now well, Ferguson's not letting this go. Ferguson thinks about the sand, it couldn't quite get it hooked up there, so we'll just have to slide in behind Reid, just hope that Reid can drag him along with him. It's not looking good for Ferguson in the Terratech Nissan. He's just falling back, losing touch with Peter Reid. We can check in with this battle for fourth place. look out of the back of Callison's Mustang. See Cycluna. Oh, big lift there from Callison. In fact, he has let Cycluna through. So interesting bit of strategy going on here for Callison. Maybe deciding that Cycluna's got a little bit more pace than him, so no point holding him up. Thank you to the big complex for the not so complex follow. Much appreciated, dude. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well, so you know that when we go live again. Now Cycluna is been unleashed, and he's going to try and chase down Chris Munro. I've looked at the pace that Munro's doing, so low 24s versus Cycluna's mid 24s. Although now that he's been released by Callison, that predictor is down to the low 24s. Checking on our race data and his race pace, he's down the low 24s as well, so I don't really know what is going on with the 185 Nissan. Delaney continues to lead as we start to tick over. Well, we're getting closer to half race distance. Peter Reid does his personal best of 24.9, so very surprised that Peter Reid is not really making much progress. Matt Cotter is making a lot of progress. He sends it over the curve through the first chicane. He's got the lap car of Eaton just behind him. Anyway, we've had a change in the... No, we haven't. That's just our timing tree going a bit sophisticated. There's, yep, Zach Riley just slides back down to 6, so that happens every now and then with ACC TV. So, geez, these tyres on this 333 Commodore, they must be feeling a bit like marshmallows at the moment. Starting to lose time to Peter Reid. That gap now down to just a little bit over 1 second. In fact, looks like O'Reilly just struggling to get the power down. Seen him slide the car a little bit under power. Again, he slides the car. It's not helping the rear tyres, that's for sure. See the amount of micro corrections that he's that dash. That is an outstanding dash there from Zach O'Reilly. It's yep. I think we've all been there. And now he dives into pit lane, so he's had enough. So 16 laps is about the limit of these super soft tyres. Releases Peter Reid to get on with it. Unfortunately, the field has sort of strung out. So it's going to be interesting to see the sort of strategies that we see from all the drivers tonight. we'll see where O'Reilly actually ends up out of all this. He's currently dropped down to 13th. He is now moving from his pit lane, or pit bay I should say, and away he goes. And he has done that quite well. He is out in clear traffic, or clear track I should say. No one in front of him, no one behind him. He can just get his head down and tick up some strong laps, and that will help him definitely as we get towards the business end of this race and the pit stops start ticking over. In fact, he's actually gone back onto the super soft, so O'Reilly looking at a two-stop strategy. I'm going to go with this strategy not working though. I mean, no one's actually, I don't think anyone's actually tried the two-stop strategy. So we'll make this into a poll. So is the two-stop strategy going to work for O'Reilly? Find out in about, geez, what's that, just over 20 odd laps? It's hard to tell. I mean, can't remember anyone else trying a two-stop strategy, so it may pay off. I mean, it's working for him so far with the clear track. But, well, we know that he's not going to be able to go to the end of the race on this set of tyres. He'll have to pit around the probably lap 33 mark. But, definitely a bold strategy. Here we go, we got a good battle. Oh, Taylor gets escorted a little bit off the track there. I think Simmons may have just grabbed a brake on the turn in. See if Taylor can try and keep up with Simmons. These guys battling for 14th place as Peter Reid does another personal best 24.5. So at the business end of this stint, the number 66 Mustang, our reigning champion, he is starting to get on with it. We're currently focusing on this little battle for 14th. Big slide on the exit for Simmons that may give an opportunity for Taylor. That was on the very limit of braking for Taylor. And again, Simmons gets a bad run onto the main straight, so Taylor might be able to make something work here. He sticks to the inside as Simmons goes straight back to the racing line, and again, have a little bit of a front brake lock up there for Taylor. Readdresses immediately. It's hard to make a move stick into turn number one. Hard to make a move stick anywhere on this track without contact. But, Delaney now, 24.010. Delaney's starting to stretch the legs for sure on this 17 FGX. Luna also setting his personal best, and Callison setting a personal best too. So, well, actually, Cycluna, he's right onto the back of Chris Munro. Munro will be absolutely begging to get into that pit window. He can probably jump onto some super softs and start turning out some qualifying laps. But, this Nissan is not looking very strong on the soft tyres, which is so unusual for Chris Munro. We're used to seeing him being so across everything with softs and super softs. He got out to an early lead and he was just left alone to get into his rhythm, but it hasn't really transpired into anything for him. Head down the back straight again. Cluna still all over the back of Chris Munro. Yeah, huge confidence boost for Cycluna. again, we're seeing it seems to be a problem with the Nissan cars. They're just struggling to hang on to the front tyres. We're seeing Ferguson over the last few laps. He's had a lot of struggles trying to get the front of his Nissan to point in. Luna just grabbing a little bit too much of the curb there. Unfortunately, that popped him up very much high up on two wheels, less than, well, suboptimal. Also got a battle between Cotter and Ferguson. Just trying to get into that within that 1 second window. Tick over half race distance. Your leader is still James Delaney. He's actually being caught by Albertsman. Albertsman half a second faster than Delaney on the last lap. So Albertsman is coming. So Commodore definitely looking a lot better on the front tyres than what Delaney's car is. So that Delaney is, especially in the first two corners, struggled to get the front of the car to just rotate. We've got a battle, Ferguson and Cotter. Ferguson around the outside of Cotter, but Cotter will make the move stick, and Matt Cotter moves into 7th place, and he'll try and chase down one of his old sparring partners of Peter Reid. Matt Cotter's on pretty impressive pace as well. See, oh, we got a car around. That's Anthony Cesana. He has binned it at the first chicane. He will get back on track and mobile again. He's actually just come back out on track behind O'Reilly. Definitely keep an eye on the progress of Zach O'Reilly in the 333 Commodore. In fact, Simmons and Taylor are still swapping positions. They're still battling way down in 14th place. I'll maybe swap over to them in a little bit, but we've got a good battle for a podium position between Chris Munro and Daniel Cicluna. Head through the technical section, back of the circuit. Munro really struggling with these tyres now, so Nissan has not looked after these soft tyres as well as what Munro probably would have preferred. See, struggling mid-corner, but Cicluna just getting off the corner so much nicer. Also getting the Mustang to rotate better than what this Nissan is. And in fact, Munro's decided enough is enough. He's diving into pit lane. Now, this will be interesting. Will he go for super softs, or will he go for another set of softs? Definitely keep an eye on that. We'll see where he comes out in relation to O'Reilly down in 12th place. So Munro pulls up in his pit box, and the crew will get to work on it. Of course, the imaginary crew. I don't think we can see any pit crew in any of these set courses, unfortunately. There we go. Munro Surveston on his way. down in 9th place, and he is on the super softs. So we'll see if he can make these tyres last. Munro on the limit is trying to make the most of the grip that these super softs provide. Almost ran off the circuit. This still isn't looking very balanced, I have to say. So as our leader's actually getting a little bit closer, Albertsma is closing in on the back of Delaney. Gap now just a whisker over a second. So we could have a battle on our hands for the lead of this race in the next few laps, I think. See that Birdsbury's predicted time is down in the high 23s. Delaney just not looking comfortable at the moment. And we have got the pole in for O'Reilly. And the majority of you thinking that no, this strategy is not going to work for Zach O'Reilly. So there we go, we got a prediction. Wait the rest of this race to find out the answer. Looks like he's managing the gap a little bit here. He's just responded a little bit. Now he's got lap traffic ahead of him. Chris Munro with a 23.9, that's his personal best. McFarland also doing a personal best of a 24.8. So, see how far Munro can progress once the pit stops start cycling through. Munro closing in at a rate of knots on bets. And O'Reilly also closing in on the back of Marshall for 11th. Right, now we just want to keep an eye on this battle between our two leaders, Albertsma and Delaney. So tick off another lap, 24.5 for Delaney, 24.4 for Albertsma. So they're doing pretty well identical lap times. It makes it hard for the chasing car. As we keep on saying, don't push. The hardest part of racing. Keep that discipline of just sticking to your rhythm and just having faith that your race setup is a little bit better than the driver in front of you. See, the headlights are on for Albertsma. Fast lap of the race, Chris Munro at 23.4. So Munro may buy back into this battle for the lead as the pit stops cycle through, but I don't know that he will be able to make the super softs last. We've seen Matty Richards getting out of the way of our two leaders. It's been a bit of a disaster race for Matt Richards. Way down in 17th place. A few laps down, unfortunately he was involved with in an incident with Tyler Craig. Just on the old main straight. Chris Munro getting around Betts as well. Marshall has also been passed by O'Reilly, but that 24.3 for Delaney, 24.1 for Albertsma. So Albertsma is just creeping onto the back of Delaney. Simmons just sidestepping our 2 leaders. Great sportsmanship there from Simmons. Look at Albertsma, who ranges up onto the back of James Delaney. So Albertsma has done an outstanding job of looking after these tyres. See the mid-corner grip of this Falcon, not anywhere near as good as the Commodore. Up the inside comes Albertsma, and Delaney, he did not put up much of a fight there. That was a surprising move there. It actually caught me off guard. So Albertsma, our new race leader. See if Albertsma can pull away from Delaney, and maybe Delaney just deciding he wants to sit behind for a few laps and just learn where he's losing time and where he's picking up time. Albertsma just starting to pull away ever so slightly. Pulled out away over a second now since the start of this lap. That's interesting. No, that's just a timing tree. Timing tree failed, yep. So McFarlane has not magically moved up to 8th place. He is still in 10th place. It's been a good progress from him. Let's have a look at the progress. Oh, well, he's only made up 1 position. Taylor has made up the most amount of positions with 6 positions. So he's now just coming under pressure from Taylor Simmons again. So these 2 guys have been battling away with each other all race long. And they're seemingly inseparable as Taylor runs a little bit wide, and he's going to lose a position to Simmons, and Richards a lap down will try and squeeze his way past. And then we got Cycluna, one of our leaders, puts a bit of a dive bomb on him. A bit of a rough few corners for Taylor. So we now see Peter Reid into the pit lane. So the first of our, I guess, legitimate stops. I want to call them legitimate stops. So far the biggest loser has been Chris Munro. He's rapidly making up time though. Already miles ahead of Peter Reid, but he will not be able to make those super soft tyres last. Question will be, oh no, Simmons is around. He's where has he spun it? Where's that? Is that turn 1? No, that's the 3rd last corner. And oh, that's Matty Richards also rejoining. So those 2 have come together. Oh, unsure. Now we see some pit stops cycling through. Susanna into pit lane. We've just seen McFarland come into pit lane. He's jumped onto the super softs. He's just, it's 21 seconds. He's out in clear track, so he should be able to put in some fairly quick laps. Huh, there you go. So he's updated his dash. That's good to see. I don't get that reference there on the left-hand side, the Path of Harold. I think that might be related to Harold Comics. No idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Our favourite Humminator is he's got an interesting set of dashes, I'd say. If you're sitting at home and you're thinking that you could have a go at this, definitely jump into the the AK Racing Discord and get your entry in. Plenty of space left on the grid. Now we have some more pit stops cycling through. Callison and Cyclona into pit lane. See where Chris Munro is. He's flying past everyone. 23.8, so he's gone into tyre management mode, I'd say. Trying to look after these tyres as best he can. Made a good undercut on Cyclona and Betts, that's for sure. Sorry, Cyclona and Callison. My mistake. Seeing everyone jumping onto the super soft tyres. Oh, big slide for Munro. Oh, he actually turns that into a bit of a rally slide. Double apex, gets the power down. Let's try and chase down the lap car of Taylor Simmons. Just see, maybe this Nissan is set up a little bit too aggressively to look after tyres. Now, 2 leaders, Alberta and Delaney, still have not made it to a pit lane. Here we go, we got 2 old sparring partners, Matt Cotter and Peter Reid. So Reid on fresher tyres, trying to sneak up the inside. He has pretty tight between the two of them. It's a bit of a half look from Peter Reid. I'm not sure that he fully intended to make the pass, but Otto just giving him the room anyway. Sure how long it I haven't seen how long it takes. I haven't really been keeping track of it. How long it takes to cycle through pit lane. Willing to bet it's around the 30-second mark as Chris Munro chucks in another high 23. So we've got less than 10 laps to go now. And I think Chris Munro might be in with a shot to win as Daniel Cicluna sets a 23.3. So Daniel Cicluna might be a risk at the end of this race, as well as Betts dives in the pit lane. Check in on the man that we should really be keeping an eye on here. He is the real threat as Albert's into pit lane, and so is Delaney. this will be very, very interesting as Albertsman brings the Black Duck Commodore to a stop, as does Delaney in the Pertec Falcon just behind. So we're going to go into our drone mode and we're going to check on where Chris Munro is. He's actually coming onto main straight. Albertsman just kept leaving pit lane, so is Delaney. I think it's going to work out in favour of Albertsman. So Albertsman takes the lead of the race. He is on super fresh, super soft tyres, and Chris Munro will be right behind him. So the strategy has almost worked out for Chris Munro. He's on warm tyres. He's already warmed up. He gives a little touch to Albertsman. Matt Cotter sets the fastest lap of the race with a 23.025, just for those of you keeping tabs. Oh, these two are fighting hard. Munro looking everywhere for the move. He goes for the dive bomb. They give each other just enough room. Albertsman, he's got the inside line for the next corner. He's on fresher tyres. Munro, he's hanging in there. Albertsman, a little bit of wheel spin, and Chris Munro will take the lead of the race with less than 8 laps to go. Albertsman, a big slide onto the little short chute. Delaney is in there. Best seat in the house for James Delaney. So the undercut has worked perfectly for Chris Munro, but now he has got to defend for 8 laps on fairly used up super soft tyres against super fresh super soft tyres on Albertsman and Delaney. So we'll just have to see how wide this Lego Nissan can be. We're seeing already just signs of understeer for the 185 Nissan as Matt Cotter into the 22s. So Matt Cotter 22.9, that is a rapid pace. He is on the warpath as Munro gets a bit of understeer. Had a half chance to make the move on Munro. He's got to be very mindful of Delaney just behind. Now we're seeing that the tyres are now up to temperature on Albertsman. He has got so much better drive on Munro. He thinks about a move into the third last corner. Can't get the move done. He'll get better drive down the back straight. He'll be on the wrong side of the circuit for the final 2 corners. Munro will just hang him out to dry. Might open the door for Delaney, but Munro goes in deep. Albertsman with the switchback, and Albertsman will get the move done. Oh, a little bit of a tank slap there. And Delaney now moves up into the lead. So, Chris Munro in one corner goes from first to third, and Albertsman into second. Munro and Albertsman weren't really playing nice with each other. Bit of hard racing, and unfortunately it's sort of backfired for both Albertsman and Munro. And Delaney now in with the box seat for the win. Oh, he gets a little bit of understeer. And now we're seeing Munro starting to drop back. Cycluna looming in the background too. So Cycluna is not out of the hunt for the podium just yet. Right on board now with Albertsman. Stage of this stint though, it does look as though it's favouring Delaney. Pertec Falcon just using the tyres a little bit better. Does a 23.1, that's his personal best. 23.6 for Albertsman, 25.3. So Munro is fading fast, and he is falling into the clutches of Daniel Cycluna. So Cycluna, he has got a smell for the podium. back in. Oh, Cyclona runs wide. I don't know how he didn't fall off the circuit there. He's on a bit of a warpath at the moment. He's closing in at a rate of knots on the back of Chris Munro. So catching is one thing, passing will be another thing. How much has Cyclona taken out of those tyres as well? Just trying to get onto the back of the Nissan. And oh, Cyclona a little bit too excited on the throttle, and he does a bit of a half spin. That hands 2 seconds to Chris Munro. A gap an advantage he'll gladly take. We also see in the background here, Callison is under threat from Matt Cotter. It's got the fast lap of the race. First man into the 22s, which is absolutely blistering pace. Also got a decent little battle here. McFarland, Ferguson and Betts, they're all in striking range of each other. Ferguson definitely out of position and trying to make up some space in some places in the last few laps of this race. Ferguson looking for a move, for any vulnerability he can exploit on the 37 Mustang. Get a little bit closer to the end of this race. James, whoa, okay. So we have a TARDIS on the track there with McFarlane. Okay, bye. Bye, have a wonderful time. That is a disconnect right there. So, oh, hello, he's back. He's back. Where is he? Oh my God. Oh! Oh no. This is not looking good. Oh boy, oh yep, he's gone. I think he's gone now. The TARDIS is gone. That is a dreaded disconnect for McFarland. Huge shame. I was looking good for a top 10 finish, and the internet gods have said no. God, I need that sound effect to play whenever that happens. No, I need TARDIS noises, that's what I need. The Doctor Who theme song as well. Captain Courageous, hello mate. Good to see you. Big battle here, Munro. He is struggling, trying to find grip, and well, good move there from Cyclona. Aggressive driving, and Chris Munro realistically just powerless at the moment to do anything. His tyres are absolutely shot. He's done half race distance on these super soft tyres. Oh, but he's got a chance to fight back on Cyclona. Oh, geez, Munro, he's got the elbows out tonight, and again. Oh, again with the elbows are well and truly out for Chris Munro. Not really working out for him as he falls back to 4th place, and now there's a big advantage between himself and Cyclona. Also seeing Callison and Cotter just behind. They're now getting quite close with each other. But we have got a battle for the lead nonetheless. Yeah, Parky, why aren't you racing tonight? You're missing out on some very, very hard racing at the moment. Too slightly stringed up, that's not an excuse. We head on to the penultimate lap. Lap traffic may play a part in this for Delaney and our Birdsma. It's Anthony Cesano just ahead in the Monster Mustang. He does get out of the way for our leaders, and it is play on for both of them. This Pertec Falcon looking a lot nicer on the Super Softs. Definitely some superior racecraft for Delaney has helped him get into the lead. He just picked the right moment to make his move on our Birdsma and Munro. Oh no, Chris Munro is around. He has looped it at the back section. And I think that's going to be a retirement for Chris Munro. The race has not gone to plan for him. Identical lap times from our 2 leaders, Delaney and our Birdsma. We're on the final lap. Delaney from our Birdsma. Hasn't really got an answer at the moment. Closes in, he's within half a second now. I don't know about you guys, but I am sensing a send. I'm sensing a send in the last 2 corners. Time is running out for our Birdsma. He's got to get the drive perfect out of this hairpin. So here we go, last chance for our Birdsma. Are we going to see a send? I think he's just too far back. So it is Delaney who'll come around the final corner to take the win ahead of our Birdsma. Great racing for Delaney. And in fact, oh, look at this. Oh, that is beautiful. Form finish. Brilliant racing, and our Birdsma and Delaney will have a form finish. That is beautiful. Dangerous Lecluna home in 3rd. Callison will come home for 4th place. And not a bad effort for Callison. Cotter will come home in 5th. Great recovery for Matt Cotter after a struggle at the start of this race. Reed up to 6th. Ferguson, he'll come around. He's battling away with Betts. Betts might have a send here into the second last corner. No, big slide for Betts. That's that compression lock. And Ferguson will come home in 7th ahead of Betts. O'Reilly, well, he actually didn't go with a 2-stop strategy. I thought he might have, but he manages to scrape home a top 10 finish. And we got Marshall. I'll say that's Harley Marshall. See him in GT Club. And as well in AK Racing, it will come home with the last place in the top 10. He's very happy with the top 10 as well for Marshall. So we will wrap up this first race. So our winner, James Delaney in the 17 Ford FGX, takes the win ahead of our Birdsma with a form finish. Great sportsmanship between those 2 drivers. Very clean racing between them. Absolutely thrilling race, brilliant to watch as well. James Cicluna home in 3rd. He'll be disappointed not to convert that front row start to a win. Callison home in 4th. Cotter 5th. Peter Reid in 6th place. Ferguson 7th. Betts in 8th. O'Reilly and Marshall rounding out the top 10. Over the page, we have got Cezanne, moves up into 11th place. Good drive for Cezanne, made up a lot of positions after starting in 15th. Then we have Eaton, Taylor, Simmons, and then we have Munro, a DNF. But he does finish ahead of Matty Richards. Just wasn't able to collect enough laps to leapfrog Chris Munro. McFarland, he had a dreaded disconnect, sadly, and is a DNF. And then we have Tyler Craig and Grant, our 2 DNFs for the night. So that is that for race number 1. We've got a reverse top 10 for race number 2 coming up soon. So while we got this little break, let's take a talk about what we've got coming up. So on Tuesday night, we have got Shakedown Sim Racing at Suzuka for round 6. There's GT3 and GT4, some multi-class racing. It's been fantastic racing all season long so far. Let's see if they can keep it up at Suzuka. Has been very, very interesting. Sonicus has been fast. Dill Lester, very quick as well. So we should have a fairly exciting race at Suzuka. Then on Friday night, we have got GT Club again for their Renault RS01 Cup. And that's going to be quite a lot of fun. However, for GT Club as well, they've got this coming up. Some IndyCar racing. So that's going to be quite cool to see. Let's also talk about something else that we've got coming up for our own league racing, and that is oh my goodness. This is what I get for trying to do things live, resizing pictures and what have you. So this is what we've got coming up on our own Discord. The Super GT League, and that is our Discord right there. And it's still not right, is it? Let's just fix that up. There we go. Good enough. So on the left there, you got your GT500s, and then on the left, we've got GT3 multi-class racing. If you've never seen Super GT, honestly, have a look at it. Best race series in the world. I don't care what anyone else says. So that is coming up as well. Make sure you jump on our Discord and yeah, get involved with that. But otherwise, we will be live for the next round of the AK Racing V8 Supercar Series. Not next weekend, but the weekend after. And where are they racing? We'll be racing at Queensland Raceway for 3 races, so 2 24-lap races, and then a 48-lap race to round out the night. And if you want to get involved again with AK Racing, there is their Discord. Join up, get involved. Some pretty good racing happening. Hopefully less at the Queensland Raceway. Yeah. Yeah, that was a very rough race number 1, that's for sure. Hopefully we have a clean race number 2. In fact, we have to give an outcome. It's a top 5 for Callison. There we go. We now have a race server up. So let's get a new prediction happening. Clean turn 1. Have 2 minutes to think about it. Okay, so while we're waiting, the start of race number 2. We're just loading into the server right now. And don't forget to hit the follow button as well. We're aiming to get 500 followers by the end of the year. I think that's a modest goal. Let's talk about the starting grid for race number 2. So Harley Marshall, well, no wonder he was so happy at the end of race number 1 because he is starting off of position number 1. Next to him will be O'Reilly in that brilliant livery on the VF Commodore. Betts off of 3rd, Ferguson 5th, and we have Reed, Cotter, Callison, Cicluna, Albertma, and Delaney will round out the top 10. Then in 11th place we'll have Anthony Cesana and Josh Eaton. Taylor in 13th, Simmons 14th. We should have Chris Munro in 15th, Matty Richards in 16th, McFarland in 17th, and if we see him, Tyler Craig in 18th, and then Grant out of 19th. So that is our starting grid. Let's see if we can get through turn 1 cleanly. Get your predictions in as well. Get some channel points. Let's give you a full view of the track. And we're going to fly to the front of the grid. In fact, I'm going to go for a little walk. See if there are any Easter eggs hidden around this circuit. Maybe something hidden. Something hidden up here, maybe? No. How about in here, in this tent? No, nothing. Oh, we got some merchandise here. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, I don't really want any of those shirts. They don't look real nice. Anyone want some merchandise? Some nice Go Race Promotions merchandise? Get your orders in by hitting the follow button. Got some new tyres out here. Surely someone will get some use out of them. Probably not out of those rims, those old Steelies. Some toilets here. Oh, we will. These toilets are no good. There's actually no toilets in there. Geez, hope no one needs to go to the toilet at all. Just about 38 seconds we can keep exploring. Perfect men's toilets, yeah. Ambo's there. We got some. You know what I saw before the start of the race. I saw this legend here. Look at him on his esky. He's loving life at the moment. He doesn't have a face, actually. Jeez. Anyway, let's get set for a start. The lights begin to light up. We have got 6 lights on. 6 lights out. We are away and racing. A bit of a slow start from Marshall. This might give O'Reilly the whole shot heading into turn number 1. He gets a great second phase of the start. Let's see if we can get through turn 1 cleanly as we're looking at 3 wide, almost into turn number 1. And I think everyone will get through nice and cleanly. That is a decent effort from everyone in AK Racing. Whole field gets through. Love to see it. Love to see it. It is O'Reilly who gets the whole shot ahead of Marshall. We start seeing a few drivers. Oh, we got one car around. That's Taylor. He's sort of been hip and shouldered by the looks, perhaps off the track there. Looking at Chris Munro, he's trying to pick his way through the field. Oh, look at this, McFarland trying to sneak up the inside of Cesana. Thinks better of it. Oh, we got cars leaning on each other. That's Richards and Grant. Oh, Munro is way around. That is some net code if ever I've seen some. He was miles away from Grant's car, and he still got sent into the shadow realm. Delaney now making some progress around the outside of Ferguson, although they lean on each other a little bit. Got to be careful when you're doing that. It's as much as we want to do it, it is sim racing. Oh, Ferguson, big lunge up the inside. Hasn't worked out for him. He'll go playing in the boons. He's just got to refocus and just get back into that rhythm, get onto the back of Eaton. Oh, look at this, everyone fanning out, trying to get round to Farland. Farland struggling for pace in this early stage of the race. First 2 laps really, so Title's still coming under pressure for the Mustang. But O'Reilly, he is spreader in the field. Out there on the Super Softs again. We'll see if he makes the strategy from the first race work. We've got a little bit of chaos going on here. Callison, Simmons and Grant. And Munro getting into it as well. We've got some internet issues here for Munro. That ping, that is worse than the Mars rover. That is for sure. That'll be making it very difficult for Chris Munro. May even think about doing an early stop just to get out of the traffic and make sure he doesn't get some netcode issues again. And, oh, here we go. Big battle for second. Betts looking up the inside. He's got the move, almost done. Marshall does give him space. This might give an opportunity for Peter Reid as they head up towards the second last corners. He may try and freight train Betts. Betts trying to sneak around the outside. Cotter trying to sneak around the outside. Our Burstman's in there as well, and so is Cycluna. Oh, Cotter gets a little bit sideways. Oh, they're 3 wide into the final corner. That was an ambitious move from our Burstman, and Reid is half around. Manages to gather it up, but he has dropped a whole host of positions down to 9th place. And this has given a chance for Betts to get away. Now Cotter is trying to hold off our Birdsma. Our Birdsma and Cycluna. Well, Cycluna now under pressure from Delaney. See if Peter Reid's a little bit hot under the collar about that. And a quick look at the Discord after that race, and there was a little bit of angst going on already. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be steering well clear of the general chat on the AK Discord after this night. Munro now makes his way around Taylor Simmons. Sort of bunching up behind Harley Marshall here. Tips it through the final corner. Still got Betts all over the back of him. Now right on board with Betts. Oh, little lock up there. Cotter is caught back onto the rear bumper of Betts. He's dragged our Burstman with him. 2 people you don't want behind you as we see Cotter with almost a cent. Betts under pressure, makes a little mistake, locks the brake. That allows Cotter through. See if our Burstman can make his way through. Our Burstman sweeps around the outside. Oh, little tap there from Betts. Hard racing, and Betts really giving a lot of room to everyone. Gets freight trained a little bit as Cycluna gets involved. This may help Delaney get a run on him. Delaney switches to the inside, and Delaney thinks better of it. He's just got Eaton behind as well, and probably fired up Peter Reid as well. Decent battle between Ferguson and McFarlane as they go side by side down the back straight towards the last 2 corners. Virgo just backing out of it. A little bit of a lock up there for McFarlane, but he pulls it up nicely. Nonetheless, he manages to hang on to that top 10 position. Now Matt Cotter, he's actually got Cotter and our Birdsman have both gotten ahead of Marshall, so I've missed that unfortunately. I'd say that might have been a mistake from Harley Marshall, just locked a brake, maybe went wide at the final 2 corners. And that has allowed Cotter and our Birdsman through. And this releases the 2 of them. try and chase down O'Reilly, who has taken advantage of all of that. He's got a 10-second gap over the two drivers in second and third. And now they've started battling away. This is not going to help them. Oh, Cotter tries to run him out of room. Meanwhile, Cyclona tries to sneak one up the inside of Marshall. So we've got battles anywhere you look in this. Well, this battle stretches all the way from second down to 9th place, all the way down to Peter Reid at the back. Eaton looking up the inside. Oh, he runs very, very deep, very wide, and he'll drop to the back of this peloton, I suppose you could call it. And that might help McFarlane get involved. He's dragging Ferguson with him as well. I'd say that Chris Munro has dived into pit lane to take a set of tyres. He's on the super softs. He's at the back of the field. He is not having a good time. Bad times were had by all, at least by Chris Munro. He's got our second and third place drivers coming up behind him. Yeah, he's still got a lot of ping issues there for the 185. So I hope the dreaded disconnect is not about to happen for Chris Munro. We've already seen it happen to the Humminator. Humminator getting humminated by his own internet. Oh, Marshall has dropped down to 6th place. He's sort of been bullied a little bit in this first half of the race. Eaton trying to sneak up the inside of Reid. Sorry, of Betts, I should say. Reid sneaking up the inside of Eaton, I should say. He'll be on the wrong side of the track though. What he'll do is he'll brake early and he'll try and get the switch back. Get much better drive now out of that third last corner, and he will make the move, stick up the inside 23.5 for Zach O'Reilly, fast lap of the race. We'll see how Matt Cotter and our Bursman can do that. Probably not going to catch him at this rate. They're still battling away so hard. 24.8, so they've both done their personal bests. Open up a good, decent gap over this battling down to 9th place. So let's get a new prediction happening. I'm going to give you guys some five options to choose from here. Who is going to finish the highest? Now, is it going to be Matt Cotter, Al Birdsma, Cyclona, Reid, or will it be Chris Munro? Get your predictions in. 5 options, you can take your time with all that. So we see Reid still trying to make the move, stick on Betts. I have to say, Betts is making this Commodore stupidly wide. Betts now as we look back at the 66 of Peter Reid, a reigning champion actually. It's a psychedelic Mustang. sensing a send here from Peter Reid. Thinks twice about it. Sense that maybe Reid is just starting to get a little bit impatient here. Wants to get around these guys, but it's just... Betts isn't really making any huge mistakes that Reid can capitalise on. He's doing a fantastic job of just withstanding the blowtorch that Peter Reid is applying to the rear bumper of his car. Reid now moving to the inside, and Betts does give him the space. He holds him off around the outside, but watch for the switchback here as Reid now. Here he goes, up the inside. And still can't get the move done. He's going to be vulnerable here to Eaton, and he's aware of that. Closes the door perfectly. This is absolutely perfect textbook racing from Peter Reid. Now, all of you sitting at home, if you want to see anything about racecraft, you watch Peter Reid right now. So he just tried to force Betts to give himself room and set up that switchback. Saw he couldn't get the move done, and rather than try and stick it around the outside, he was aware of where Eaton was, he was aware there was a gap, and he just slotted straight in and blocked any possible opportunity for Eaton to make the move stick on him. So he wasn't able to make the move stick, and he didn't lose anything. That brilliant racecraft from Peter Reid. As Al Bertsma now into pit lane. Now it was taking note up ahead. This little battle here, we got a trio of fighters. James Cicluna now has taken the lead of this trio. Al Bertsma is into pit lane. Delaney is caught up, so it was a quartet of drivers battling away. I was noticing that in the background of that last shot out of the final hairpin. So obviously Al Bertsma has decided he's had enough and he's dived into the pit lane. We'll see where he comes out. Where is he? He's down in 17th. He's gone with the soft tyres, so fresh soft tyres for Al Bertsma. On Marshall and Betts. Now here we go. Now watch Peter Reid. He will swap over and just try to freight train Marshall. Marshall gives him space, and it's not going to be enough though. Reid will just get the drive out of that hairpin. He's on the wrong side of the track, so Reid will just back out of it. Here comes Reid again. Up the inside, and that should be job done for Peter Reid. So Peter Reid now finally moves into 6th place, but he's got to try and chase down Betts once again. Marshall, he's done well though, I have to say. He held off everyone for as long as he could. He's managed to find the gap, and he's got to go. Oh, Peter Reid, he's taken the scenic route, and he may lose that position to Marshall. So he's able to hold him off. Marshall unable to capitalise on it. And in fact, Marshall is going to be passed by Eaton here. No, actually Eaton pulls out of it. But look at this, we've got an angry battle pack here. 6 drivers all battling for 6th place. Look at this guy, Matty Richards. He's just snuck up after the disaster that was race number 1. Oh, McFarlane trying to send it up the inside of Eaton. Couldn't get it done. So Callison and Richards have made good progress this race. Oh, McFarlane, a big slide. He manages to hang on to it. Ferguson gets a bad run. Matty Richards must be pulling his hair out, I reckon. He'll be frustrated because he won't know which way to go in this battle pack. He's got to be so careful here. As now Eaton runs wide. I don't think Richards is going to be able to capitalise on this. Oh, he's going to try it anyway, and in fact, Eaton backs out of it. So, yeah, Eaton. In fact, Eaton going for pit lane, so he's had enough of this battle pack. McFarlane now takes the head of this battle pack. They're 3 wide just behind Callison, Marshall and Ferguson. Marshall just backing out of it. And in fact, he's going to fall victim to Matty Richards as well. Oh, little hip and shoulder there. Little taparoo. Just held onto it with each other. So now switch back there for Richards, and Richards will get the move done. So job done. Marshall's had a bit of a shocker lap that time by since he just didn't want to get involved, get turned around. Still a long way to go in this race. We're only on lap 12 of 42. Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with everyone here. There are times that I hate reverse grid races, and then there are times that I love reverse grid races, and right now, I'm loving reverse grid races. We're not seeing huge amounts of chaos. We're not seeing anyone getting absolutely sent into the shadow realm. It's been hard racing. We've had everyone, banging door handles together, banging wheels together, but we haven't seen anyone just get absolutely yeeted off into Narnia, apart from maybe Chris Munro, but I think that was a bit of net code there. He was miles away from, I want to say it was Grant. In fact, we should focus on this battle here. This is for 13th. We've got Taylor, Simmons, and Grant all battling away. Taylor making the Arrow Commodore super wide at the moment. And Grant now trying to sneak back up the inside of Simmons. Simmons will close the door. Ooh, little nudge, little tap-tapperoo. And no harm, no foul. These guys are... It's been aggressive racing tonight. We've seen the elbows come out on a few drivers, but overall, glad to see that no one's been absolutely sent off into nowhere. So now Zach O'Reilly into pit lane. The punt assist Commodore. So that had a 13-second advantage over Cycluna and Cotter. So Cycluna will now inherit the race lead. Immediately goes a little bit deep into the first chicane. This will leave him vulnerable to Cotter as they head up towards turn 3 underneath the old Winton gantry. Right on board now with Matt Cotter. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Bring me back my race battle. So Cotter. And he's on his, what has been his regular sparring partner this year, Daniel Cycluna. These guys have been trading blows with each other for much of the year. Cotter with his signature aggressive driving style. Doesn't get called the torpedo for no reason, that's for sure. See that Delaney has just come out. He's in 11th place, but he's in traffic at the moment. So that'll be hurting him in regards to Cycluna and Cotter. He has managed to come out clearly ahead of Albertsman, which is interesting. So the undercut not really working this race, which I'm finding quite interesting. Albertsman down here in 15th place. It's just not coming together for him this time in this race. He may have had a spin somewhere. closing in on the back of Grant and Taylor. So Simmons has dived into pit. No, he hasn't. He's just there in the back grid. As Ferguson sets his fast lap of the race, a 24.9. Oh, I heard someone into the gravel trap. Who's in the gravel trap? Thought I heard someone go into the gravel trap then. He might just be hearing things, I don't know. Chad, am I going insane? It's hard to tell anymore. So this battle's still going on between Betts and Reed. So Betts, one of the newer names in the league, that's for sure. He is holding off an extremely experienced driver in Peter Reed. Ooh, big slide there for Reed, and he gets the power down. Still got a great battle here between McFarlane and Callison. Two Mustangs. Team Morris in the Kangaroo Valley racing of the Harmonator. Right on board now with Callison. That's a 14-year-old holding off Reed. That is a decent effort. And 14 is the new 20. Callison really on the back of McFarlane. McFarlane withstanding the pressure though. This battle is shaping to be a good one between Callison and McFarlane. In fact, these guys are potentially closing in on the back of the battle ahead of them between Betts and Reed as Taylor Simmons off the track. Oh, he's found the gravel as well. That might be terminal. Oh, he's got movement in the wheel, so no hardware failure. Where is that on the circuit? Oh no, so he's I reckon he's come off very, very awkwardly just over that curb there, and he has just been tank slapped off the track. So see Reed and Betts make their way past. He's going to get right out of the way for our... Oh, Callison's actually overtaken McFarlane too. Look at O'Reilly, he's on a bit of a warpath too. He's closing in on the back of McFarlane. He's already dispatched Ferguson and Richards. I'm going to have to change that audio sound for this. Yeah, check engine. Yeah, we're going to have to check the engine of this car because it is sounding really, really awful. Again, O'Reilly on the super softs again. Well, we saw him make the one-stop work on the super softs, but I don't think he's going to make it work twice tonight. This has been an impressive night for Zach O'Reilly. I'm presuming it's Zach O'Reilly, by the way. As now Peter Reid has managed to finally dispatch Betts. So Peter Reid will get on with it now. Reid, I think, having the much better race pace than what Betts did. See if he can try and close in on the back of Matt Cotter and Cycluna. They sort of drifted apart a little bit, 1.2 seconds the gap between Cotter and Cycluna. So we'll keep an eye on O'Reilly as he charges his way through the field. He gets a good run out of the third last corner. He should make this move nice and easy. McFarlane, I don't think the Humminator really made that a difficult move for O'Reilly to complete. Battling between Betts and Reid, that sort of allowed Callison to close in on the back of both of them. He's got to be very much aware of O'Reilly closing in on the back of him. So what's everyone's tips for Formula One tonight? Reckon Leclerc can do it? Certainly, that track is catching out a lot of drivers. That little section of the circuit where it's that double left-hander that goes into the chicane. A lot of people absolutely binning their cars into the fence. We saw Ocon, we've seen Sainz. Look, let's try and get a few more into that fence. Come on. God. Expensive weekend for a few people. Glad to see that Aston Martin haven't found the fence yet. And glad to see that Stroll and Latifi haven't found each other either. Oh, we have another car off the track. That's Simmons. No, he's actually DNF. Huge shame for Taylor Simmons. Tough night for him. Tough night for this guy as well, Chris Munro. DNF in race one. It's just, the Nissan is not performing tonight for Chris Munro. It's proven to be a difficult night for the other Nissan driver of Ferguson, who gets a big slide on, and he is around. That'll surrender the position to Matty Richards. That was a huge moment for Ferguson, I thought, for the world. He was, oh, whoa, and Matty Richards having a moment as well. Oh, have the position, I'll give it back straight back to you, mate. Like, just, isn't Matty Richards a great guy? Just decides, you know, I want to take that position legitimately. I want to do it with a dive bomb. That's the only thing that I can think of that Matthew was doing there. Now we've got a good three-way here. Betts, Callison and O'Reilly. See how O'Reilly can make any moves. Stick right on board with him now, actually. He's got far better grip than Callison. Expect him going for the late dive bomb. Oh, he's made that work. Callison, great awareness there. I think that was super aggressive from O'Reilly. Maybe a little too aggressive. Callison did give him room anyway. Almost caught Callison napping in a way, but well, nonetheless, O'Reilly up into 5th place. He continues his charge forward, trying to make the most of those super soft tyres. Now O'Reilly's next target will be Betts. just in 8th and 9th. Delaney on Maffey. Yeah, here he comes again. O'Reilly thought about it, but he thinks better of it. Thinks about another send. Betts aware of him, giving him the space. Holding it off really, really well. See in the background there, that battle I just touched on. Richards, Delaney, and Marshall also involved. I saw 3 cars, I don't know who else was involved in it. Oh, that's Chris Munro. He's definitely out of it tonight. 16th place, lap down, unfortunately for the big man. The man with the big beard. Really struggling to get that Nissan pulled up. Don't know if anyone has seen the beard that Chris Munro has, but it is glorious, I have to say. It is glorious. Our Bergsman now dispatches Susanna for 11th place. Thank you, Aussie. I'll look at that straight away. So, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about here, we have got the Stadium Super Trucks from Aussie Motorsport League. So let's just get that downloaded. Oh my god. Okay. And we'll get that up for all of you sitting at home wanting to get involved as well. Hey John, if you can give us a little link to your Discord, that'd be really good, man. Anyway, back to the action of the AK Racing V8 Supercars. So, unfortunately, while I was doing all that, Zach O'Reilly has made the move on Betts, and now Betts is vulnerable to Callison. Callison just trying to pick his way through. Similarly, in the background there, Delaney taking taking his time really to dispatch of Matt Richards. Right on board now with James Delaney. Find a way through. But once again, this track very difficult to make a move on. Really relying on the driver ahead of you to make a big enough mistake just to open the door for you. And right now, Matty Richards, he's on really good form as well. He's just not making any mistakes. He's just not giving any opportunity to Delaney. Similarly, like we've seen with Betts, he's been an absolute star tonight. The Mobile 1 BP NAB Commodore. I'll tell you what is really amazing. performance from Cyclona and Cotter. They have not made their pit stop yet. And into the pit lane comes O'Reilly for his second stop, so he's trying to go for the two-stop strategy. And I reckon he may have picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding in pit lane. That was very, very quick. I don't think he slowed down in time. Wait and see exactly what happens. We got real penalty on. Sure that we have. There we go. There's a safety car. Pit lane penalty. Yeah, we can keep that up. Penalty. Put that up there. Penalty cutting and real penalty speed. There we go. That should be right. So Cyclona. John, I meant for you to put the link for your Discord into chat. Speaking of Discords, if you want to get involved with what you're seeing right here, well, there's the AK Racing Discord. Jump on there, give them a bit of love, and then join in with the V8 Supercars. Pretty sure they have other things in the pipeline as well, perhaps, maybe. Oh, jeez. Track maps, gotta love them. Thanks for that information, Freeze. Pit detection line isn't where the line is painted on the track, it's at the end of the white tyre wall on the right, technically. Dodgy pit setup, I'm going to have a look at that. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. On the right. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, is that the line there? That must be the line right there. Geez, that's, that is... I don't know. Back a bit. Oh, okay, yep. That is confusing. That would confuse me. That's why we always say on this channel, practice your pit entries, practice your pit stops. Well, you can make up a lot of free positions. Get free time maybe, not positions. Leader, Daniel Cyclona, still hasn't made his pit stop. Bergsman's still picking his way through the field as McFarlane now dives into pit lane. So we'll see where McFarlane pops out. He should pop out, I reckon, around Susanna O'Reilly, just in front of Eaton, I reckon. The question is, when is Cyclona going to come in? That is confusing, Freeze. Well, practice your pit stops. Practice your pit stops. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. And what a practice his pit stop is this man here, Daniel Cyclona. Hoping for a really, really good pit stop. He's in a good position to take the win. I don't think the two-stop is really going to pay off for O'Reilly as Peter Reid now dives into pit lane to get serviced. We'll check in with this battle here. Callison and Betts. Callison looking up the inside. Betts just sweeps in front of him. Keeps the position, but these guys are getting very, very tight with each other. Was the camera on it? There we go. Are we going to see a set here? No, Callison thinks better of it. Actually tries to sneak it around the outside. He's got a bit of an overlap, I think. And Betts gives him the space. He'll have the inside line for the next corner. Now, this is great little to and froing from these guys. It's going to help Delaney and our Birdsman, well, just Delaney actually, catch up to the back of them. There's now Cycluna into pit lane. This hands the lead to Matt Cotter. So Cycluna into pit lane. We'll see where he pops out. I think he should pop out in front of O'Reilly. In fact, O'Reilly and Reed are battling away. Reed on fresh, brand new super soft rubber. Cycluna out of pit lane. So the two-stop strategy has not worked for Zach O'Reilly. Huge shame for him. Should get into the top 5 though, at least. There's Betts and Callison into pit lane. We'll see where they come out. As taking on fuel. Callison moving before Betts. He may leapfrog him. Callison has leapfrogged Betts. So a little bit of a better start for out of the pit box for Callison over Betts. And Callison finally gets in front of Betts, so he can't do it on track, do it in pit lane. Cycluna has also come out well ahead of Delaney and our Birdsman, so the undercut definitely not working tonight. Cotter going round again. If I was Cotter, I'd be diving into pit lane right now. Cycluna's tyres will be up to temperature now. There you go in chat there, the link to the Aussie Motorsport League Discord. So if you want to get into the Stadium Super Trucks, you can. In case we're watching about Supercars right now. A decent battle for the last spot in the top 10 between Ferguson and Matty Richards. Richards coming back from a disastrous race number 1. He's trying to salvage something from this night with a top 10. Just something to make it happen. Through the chicane they go. Nice and clean. Richards very deep. He somehow managed to pull it up, but again, just a little bit of over-rotation. You make a mistake, you just want to try and make up for it as quickly as you can. As the lead gets handed back to Daniel Cycluna. Less than 10 laps to go now. So Matt Cotter serviced and rolling. See Taylor just getting out of the way of our race leader, Cycluna. See Peter Reid, a fast lap, 23.9. Really, oh, Callison, fast lap of the race at 23.2. So Callison, now that he's been released from the back of Betts' Commodore, he is flying at the moment. Fastest man on track. He's trying to hunt down Peter Reid just ahead of him. I don't think the strategy has really played out very well for O'Reilly. Just the difference between super softs and softs just not good enough. The early stop, the undercut, just not working for him, but this has been an impressive night for O'Reilly. I am going to be changing that sound for that Commodore. It's Callison, another fastest lap of the race at 23.073. He could possibly get into the 22s. Join the 22 club along with Matt Cotter. Cotter, incidentally, he is 5.5 seconds behind Cycluna. Just unable to close in on the back of the 28. So we might be looking at another win for Cycluna. He'll be happy with that. Just got to get there first. Decent battle here. Well, actually, you know what? I want to watch this battle here. Ferguson and Richards. These two pretty close together. Look out the back of Ferguson's car. 22.8 for Callison, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. That is the fastest lap of the night. So Callison, he means business in these last few laps of the race. We're watching this battle for 10th. No, Matty, no! Good save there for Matt Richards, but he's got to do all that hard work again to get onto the back of Ferguson's Nissan, all the while burning out those super soft tyres. So this is what I keep saying on these streams. Just have faith in your pace and we'll close in on the back of the car in front and overtake. And that is exactly what we're seeing with Ferguson. Like, Ferguson knows he's in a good position. He doesn't need to try and force the pace out of his car. It's hard to pass around this circuit. Oh, look at that, 22.7 for Cycluna. So Cycluna now the fastest man tonight. Unbelievable pace in the latter stages of this race for Cycluna and Callison. See the times tick over. O'Reilly and Reed. Now these two are battling away pretty hard. They're being caught by Callison though, so they've got to be aware of that. O'Reilly certainly on the back foot here. His tyre's very old, much older in comparison to Reed's tyres. Looking at the back of O'Reilly's asthmatic sounding Commodore. Oh, grabs a break. Now Callison is onto the back of these guys. The Iris Motorsport, Team Iris, sorry, I should say. Is it Team Iris? Yep, Team Iris Mustang. It's on the back of these two drivers. I reckon we're going to see a bit of a send here before too long from... oh, Matt Cotter now regains that fastest lap of the night. 22.78. So he's responding. Well, we're watching a great battle here. Callison, Reed and O'Reilly. Battle for 10th is still on between Virgo and Matthew. This one here last of the top fives. That might have been a little bit of a tap there from Callison. As they make their way down the backstroke one more time. This will assist Betts in getting involved with this battle. He is running out of time on lap 38 of 42. So Cluna, our leader from Cotter. Delaney, I think Delaney has just settled in for third place. He's got Chris Munro behind him, but Munro not a threat to him. We're basically just trying to collect some points after what has been a character building night, to say the least. Down in fourth place, we got our Bertsma. Basically, the story of the night, the undercut is not your friend around this circuit. I'm sure these drivers will be making a mental note, maybe even a physical note of that the next time they come here. Long run works. Back to this battle. Riley now, he is back under pressure. The blowtorch is back onto the rear bar of the VF Commodore. Still, the man in the strongest position here, I think, has to be Callison. He's got no one behind him. Betts is about 3.5 seconds behind. He's catching, but catching very slowly. Probably not fast enough to get involved in this battle and make a show of it. As I say that, he is faster than all three of these guys, about 2/10. You see O'Reilly just not really, he's not able to get the power down in that Commodore, and that will be hurting those rear tyres a lot. He has been driving pretty hard, trying to make the two-stop strategy work. Hasn't really gone to plan. He was our early race leader. He had 13-second gap out in front. Started on the super softs, and it just hasn't really materialised for him, unfortunately. So I'm sure he'll go back for the next fortnight and just probably reassess his strategies. Getting into the business end of this race. So Cluna, your leader, about to start lap 41. Oh, yes, he's on lap 40 of 42. We're focusing on this battle for 5th place. Riley, Peter Reid and Callison. All giving each other hell, has to be said. Oh, big lock up there for Reid. Give Callison a little bit of encouragement. Still, O'Reilly withstanding the pressure. It does start to weigh down on your mind when you've got two drivers that are faster. Callison getting a little bit of wheel spin on the grass. Again, big slide for O'Reilly as he tries to get the power down. This might give an opportunity for Reid down into turn number 1. Not quite. This has been a fantastic race between these three drivers. Cluna out in front, having a lonely race for sure. He must be on his way to another victory. Got a 6.6 seconds, now 6.7 between himself and Matt Cotter. The Cyclone, the strategy has worked out well for him. Look back here, here comes Callison up the inside of Reed. Can't get the move done just yet. Reed, a little bit of wheel spin, that'll give Callison a chance around the outside. We've seen drivers make this move work all night long. He's going to try and stick it around the outside. He'll have the inside line for the next corner, and he will get the move done. Job done for Callison. Oh no, he gets wheel spin and he hands that position right back. Oh, that was a live commentator's curse if ever I've seen one. Oh, Callison, if you watch back through this stream, that was my fault. Gave you the curse. Anyway, we'll have to cut away from this battle and join our race leader, Cycluna, the man in incredible form at the moment. He has been racing just as much as he can. Seen him at GT Club, seen him in Octane. Now tonight I'm seeing him in V8 Supercars, about to take another win. 2022 is shaping up to be a great year of racing for Cycluna. So he heads up towards the final two corners. Strategy has worked out for him. Racecraft has worked out for him. Tips it into the second last corner. Not a single problem. Gives us a little bit of a show as he rounds the final corner. And it is Daniel Cycluna with another win in season 2022. Second place will be Matt Cotter. A very lonely second place. But we're going to swap back to this battle for fifth because Reed is not done. Callison is not done. O'Reilly is definitely not done. Now, will O'Reilly go defensive? He doesn't go defensive, but he's just far enough ahead of Reed. Reed's not going to do anything silly. After 42 laps of racing around here. And it is going to be Zach Riley who holds on for fifth place. Ahead of Reed and Callison. Great driving from all of these guys. I think Peter Reed and Callison will be absolutely stoked with that race. Betts will come home with a respectable 8th. He's definitely, I'm going to have to say Betts would have to be driver of the night for me. Managed to make this Commodore super wide. Heaton will come home with a top 10. So will Ferguson. He's able to hold off Matty Richards. And we're just waiting for Susanna and Marshall across the line. 12th place for Susanna, 13th for Marshall. So, let's wrap up this stream because, boy, my voice is only just hanging on here. So, your winner tonight in race number 2, Daniel Cycluna ahead of Matt Cotter. Delaney in 3rd, our Bertsma 4th. O'Reilly, Reed and Callison, the magnificent 3 in those last few laps, battling away, but O'Reilly coming out on top. Betts, my driver of the night for race 2. That was unbelievable defensive driving to hold off one of the most toughest drivers in AK racing to hold off in Peter Reed. Absolutely heroic effort from the 14-year-old. Eaton in 9th and Ferguson holding on to a top 10 from Matthew Richards. Susanna, 12th place, another respectable result for him. Had a quiet night, but believe you me, he is not done. He will get that form back that we've seen in the past. Marshall in 13th. Not a bad effort for Marshall. He held on to second for so long. He had a train of cars down to 9th place at one stage, and he withstood the pressure. Just the strategy probably just didn't work out for him. Grant in 14th. Chris Munro, a night to forget. A character-building night for Chris Munro, but a reminder to everyone that even the best have their bad nights. Taylor in 16th, McFarland in 17th, Taylor Simmons in 18th, and that rounds out our, well, actually Taylor Simmons at DNF, so that rounds out our runners for the night. We're going to quickly wrap up this stream. start a new poll for driver of the night. So I'll leave it up to you guys out there in chatland. So just write up these options for you. Sure, I'm missing a few. That unfortunately I only have 5 spaces, so I can only give you 5 options here. But there are so many drivers out there that really should be congratulated and have a chance at being driver of the night. Who else can I chuck in there? Just trying to think. I think that'll do. Give you guys about 5 minutes to make your choices. Should really come up with a prize for the driver who gets driver of the night and make it interesting. Some sort of prize. Need to get something happening. Anyway, that is AK Racing V8 Supercars for another week. I hope you guys enjoyed that at home. Yeah, make sure that if you enjoyed what you saw, join in on the AK Racing Discord. Get involved in this. It's quite a lot of fun. No, it should be like that. So I changed my monitor setup, so now I've got the actual racing on this screen over here and everything else over here, including the camera, of course. Really struggling with that. But otherwise, it's been very comfortable. Loving this new chair. Thanks to my brother for giving me this chair. He sold it to me, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's a damn nice chair. Let's run through what we've actually got coming up for you on the channel. So if you missed it, Shakedown Sim Racing on Tuesday night. It's round number 6 of their GT3, GT4 series on Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's been great fun watching the multi-class racing. Hopefully you'll join us again on that night to, see the chaos unfold. Then we are back with GT Club on Friday night for their Renault RS01 Cup. Where are they racing, actually? Where are they racing? Let's see. I know it's a weird French track. Of course, it's a French track, but French car, French track. Winton. I have no idea. Apparently, it's FIA Grade 2. It's 4.7 kilometers long. Never heard of it. Don't know if it's a real track. We'll look it up. Let's see. Winton. Oh, it is a real track. There you go. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's not a real track. I don't think it is a real track. Yeah, it's not a real track. Okay, but that's cool. That's cool. We like fictional circuits as well. But yeah, make sure you're following us for that one. Also, bit of a reminder. We touched on this a little bit earlier. The Aussie Motorsport League Stadium Truck Super Series. If you scroll up a little bit in chat, you'll see the Discord link. Actually, it's right about. Hang on. Let me get that lined up. Right across there. So yeah, get involved with this Stadium Super Trucks. That is looking pretty damn cool. Hey, Scooney, I should be giving you an award for getting another win, mate. But you know what? I'll take another subscription from you, mate. Much appreciated, mate. I love you. That is 18 months in a row. Wow, man. Wow. Thank you so much. It is much appreciated. Really would love to make Twitch my only job, but unfortunately, not really working out. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm enjoying this anyway. But yeah, make sure you get involved with the Stadium Super Trucks with Aussie Motorsport League. We will be broadcasting that here on Sunday nights when the V8 Supercars aren't running, so that way we can keep the streams happening on every Sunday night as well. Another thing that I really want to touch on, and this is a bit of love for me, my own love project here, is Super GT down here. There is a link to our Discord so you can get involved. We are starting that up again. We've got the GT500s, which are the Japanese cars, and of course the DTM cars as well. They're the same rules, same regulations, and then we've got GT3 as well. If you've never seen Super GT, guys, just jump on YouTube, look it up. It is a fantastic series, my favourite race series in the world, and I really want this to be a success. We're hoping to get it streamed, so make sure you jump into our Discord and sign up for that. And in fact, on that note, welcome to Apathetic Castle and Station 19 to the Discord. Download those cars, download the track packs, and get involved with the Super GT League. So where are we actually racing? So round 1 will be at Fuji Speedway. Round 2 will then be at Circuit of the Americas. Round 3, Spa-Francorchamps. Round 4, the Red Bull Ring. Round 5, Albert Park. And that's the 2022 Albert Park. So yes. Trial Mountain, round 6, and then we wrap it up with Suzuka. So, yeah. Really cool. And we have word from you guys at home. Betts, driver of the night. You know what? Again, I agree with that one. I didn't vote, but yeah, Betts definitely got my vote, and I'm glad that you guys at home agree with me. So, I think that is a perfect way to wrap up the night. Just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us in stream tonight. Really appreciate your support. But anyway, that is us for tonight. We will see you next time. Adios.